There's my best little plant, Linda. Oh, you are so good looking. Man, Keith McKEAN has just worked a miracle with you. Oh, it is so sweet. Thank you, Keith. And look at this next to it. Ha.
Okay, these are collected Ponderosa pines.
Okay.
I really love pines. Some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do, but they're collected pines.
Ah.
You've got an age of 65 to 70 over here.
Years?
Yes, 35 and about 37 there.
Wow.
So, you've got a Japanese black pine here. The variety is called Thunderhead. I've been working on that for probably 7 or 8 years. It was about 6 feet tall when I got it. I took the top out and have restyled it.
Now you would sell that?
That's in my personal collection. I would take an offer on it. Do I want to sell it? Not necessarily. I have trees that I would love to sell,
But you want
or
to?
I will sell, and I have trees. You know, listen, every bonsai artist has trees he doesn't want to sell.
Oh yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't. But it's, a lot of this stuff, some of this stuff is mine, and the rest of it's for sale. So, and every bonsai artist is going to be like that. You know.
Yeah.
You've got a lot. Now this is our native oak, is what they call the post oak, or
Yeah,
the white oak, or it's even called the swamp oak. You know, they have all these different names.
I've heard post oak an awful lot.
But this was about 8 feet tall. This was collected the 8th of March this year.
So that'd be how many months ago?
Do the math. I don't know. It's
April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months ago.
Okay, 6 months ago. I made my cut here, which is about 9 inches. This is starting to heal over very nicely.
You put a wound dressing on that?
Put wound dressing on that.
And then later you said you'll carve in there?
Yeah, eventually, depending on what kind of stylus you want, there's going to be some carving in here where it makes it look like dead wood, or like lightning's knocked
natural.
the top
Makes it
out.
look natural, not like a sod.
You're right.
Okay.
That will be done later on. Right now, we're just trying to keep the health of the tree.
Look how healthy that is. Look at
But
that.
if you'll get a close-up of this,
yeah.
I've been trying to shape it and do selective pruning. These are all new buds, which are going to form new limbs. Now, are the leaves on this thing huge? They are, and you can do a leaf reduction on this. They do respond to that. You can do it.
What's a leaf reduction? Just thinning
Leaf
it,
reduction means that you're going to take the leaf off where it connects with the leaf node or nodule up against the bark, and the next set of leaves that come out are going to be a little bit smaller.
Oh.
But my thing is, I know that these leaves are big, but I happen to like oak trees.
Yeah.
So I can tolerate this. You know, people that have ginkgo trees have big leaves too. So there are some trees out there that are acceptable. They do have a big leaf. You can do a leaf reduction or leave them the way they are. I happen to have a love for oaks, all kinds of oaks. So I'm okay with this. Is this ready for a bonsai show? No, because the leaves are too big. But it's something I like.
Oh. Okay.
So
all right.
you have to please yourself.
Yeah.
Now, there's several ways to get bonsais. I'll bring this in the shade if you want.
Yeah, right over here by the umbrella.
This was
about right here?
This was a little bit right here.
Yeah, that's good.
This was a little bit different case. You can get garden stock from Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's. This happened to be a willow oak that I got actually kind of late. I got it in April, April 12th to be exact. It was reduced or clearanced. It was about 10 feet tall, and it was in a 20-gallon pot, which obviously is a bunch bigger than this. I did a short root reduction on it, got it into this pot. It's in training. I stumped it out at about 9 inches.
Now that looks like soil. Looks like it's sitting in soil.
Well, it's in some of the garden stock soil that was in the pot. I don't want to remove it entirely the first year.
Right.
And then I've got my soil mixture in there.
Okay.
It's forming a new canopy, and this is going to be a neat little tree next year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know?
Now we go inside.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about leaf size.
Okay. All right. Here I come.
This is a ginkgo tree here,
All right.
and it makes a great bonsai. It is one of the oldest trees on the earth.
Really?
And the leaf size is quite unique, but it's also big.
Yeah.
And so this is acceptable in bonsai, kind of like we were talking about the oak out there.
Yeah.
And it still makes a great bonsai tree.
Wow.
These are in training pots. Now, the unique thing about that is there are grafted and hybrid ginkgos out there, and this, look at the difference in the leaf size here. This is called the Chase Manhattan.
Uh-huh.
This is a grafted ginkgo tree,
Oh.
and you're talking about 1/4 the size of the leaf.
Wow.
So look at the big difference there.
Man.
So, you know, I mean, you've got all kinds of ways you can go here.
Uh-huh.
But this particular variety is called Chase Manhattan.
Yeah.
When we were collecting hackberries this year, we ran across some native pecans. And I have never collected a native pecan, and I wanted to see basically how they collect
Yeah.
and how well they would do.
Okay.
So we got a couple of them, and these are what you call Indian or native pecans. And they are hard shell pecans.
Yeah.
And the leaves can get big.
Yeah.
Your newer leaves are smaller. These have just came out, so they don't have the color, but they will get the color. But it's kind of unique, and it's a native tree that we
Yeah.
collected. So. I wanted to show you this one.
Okay. Let me come up there. I got it.
This is a very hard to find, sometimes sought after tree, and we collected this the 17th of February this year.
Uh-huh.
Stumped it out at about 9 inches, and this is called a parsley leaf hawthorn. And if you'll look at the leaf, it's small in size and has similar shape to parsley.
Yeah. And it's very rare. Huh?
And it's rare. They're hard to find. They just don't grow anywhere. It's in its first few months of training, and it's going to make a great
Wow.
bonsai for
Wow.
somebody.
Is that it? Okay. That's a bald cypress.
Bald cypress, but these, what I wanted to explain to you was these were offered to me for practically nothing. They were in 10-gallon pots, and what had happened was they either got too dry, or they had too much exposure, just too dry during
Yeah.
shipping or at the nursery. And they were approximately 12 feet tall, and the entire tops had died out of them.
Wow.
So it was a little bit risky that late in the year, but I reduced the root balls, and I cut them at about, I don't know, 13, 14 inches, and this is the entire new canopy and a totally
wow.
revived tree. So
Don't they like to sit in water, the roots?
yeah, they can take all the water you can give them.
All right.
So that was kind of that's another way to get your bonsai, is get some bonsai or get some garden stock that maybe has been a little bit abused, that you can get at a reduced price. And it could or could not be a risk to try and revive it
Yeah.
and get a bonsai tree out of it, but you don't have a lot into it besides time. I mean, honestly, I got these for a few bucks a piece. And
Since it was May, you fertilized it well, I guess.
yeah. I don't like to reduce the root balls that late in the year, but they were near death anyway, and
So-
I didn't have a bunch of money in them, and they were so emassed in roots,
So you
just
thought,
wrapping around. They weren't going to make it that way anyway. They were totally
so
root
you just
bound.
rolled the dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this right here is another winged elm, and I've never had this happen before to me, but I stumped it out at about 9-10 inches,
Yeah.
and instead of the new limbs forming on the stump, it must have been sick or dry or had a specific problem, and the stump from here to here never recovered.
Wow.
So basically from here up,
There's
it's
a-
dead.
Uh-huh.
But I've got new limbs in here, which I'm doing selective printing on. And believe it or not, a lot of bonsai artists try to get stuff like this, and they will carve this
Hollow
area,
that out like a natural.
carve it or hollow it out, make it look snagged, like it's been hit like lightning.
Yeah.
And the entire top died out, and that's what my intentions are with this, is to carve it and hollow it out.
Oh, wow.
And so
So
You know,
you
that's
use,
what we got.
use Dremel tools.
Right, I do, yeah.